there's no way whatsoever that in our government system with all these presidents and all this money we've been making and all these people that's supposed to be intelligent, that we just blowing money.
There seems to be mysteriously they get wealthier. We don't know why. Where does it come from? I think the reality is that they're getting wealthier to taxpayer expense.
The pushback is not sitting well with the co-presidents who held court in the Oval Office today together alongside Elon's toddler. And weirdly, it was Musk doing most of the talking.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on? We'll fight against DOGE. We'll fight Elon Musk.
I do not understand for the life of me how Democrats are coming out and crying about efficiency in the government. I don't know if they just stupid or they have to hate everything that Donald Trump is doing. They have to. They have to say that Donald Trump is a bad man and everything that he does is wrong and Republicans are evil. They have to. Because if they were honest and transparent, they would resign. Because there's no way whatsoever that in our government system with all these presidents and all this money we've been making and all these people that's supposed to be intelligent, that we just blowing money. Blowing money like a drug dealer at a strip club. Blowing money like a woman that got her STEMI check at Louis Vuitton. Blowing money like a man at Scottsdale Gun Club. Well, how else you blow your money? You just blowing it. They give it transgender surgeries. I played the video the other day where Jesse Waters was exposing this stuff. They gave almost $1 billion to doing architectural things in other countries that didn't even get used. A dam, they did some freeway system that never got used. Money just blown. Now we know, because we're not stupid, we know that the money didn't just get blown because the highway system didn't work or the dam was never used. It's because it never had intent. The money wasn't supposed to really go to that. It was supposed to line the pockets of some favor that some politician did with another politician. And then they just had that as a shadow thing. And it just never happened. Oh, we don't know what happened to the money. No, that money, that transaction was between two politicians. And we know it. You know, the interesting thing about this entire discussion is how Elon Musk's DOGE operation is being covered by the media. I want to show you guys a few things that I think is very important. This is how you know that you need to be balanced in your approach when looking up articles for particular subject matter. Elon Musk defends cost-cutting efforts in Oval Office appearance. That is the subject line. Then you go to the people on the left. What are they saying? Elon Musk, Trump pact is sealed in bizarre Oval Office circus. Musk shadow presidency. So everything you see from companies that are on the left are damaging the reputation of what it was the experience with Elon Musk at the Oval Office. Then you look at the ones on the right. I think it's more fair, but it's more positive. Elon Musk's son, X, steals the limelight in the presidency, or at least in the Oval Office. Musk seeks to stave off criticism and sweeping government cuts. Then you go to the people in the middle that you would think is the middle, but it's not really the middle. White House Democrats troll J.D. Vance after Musk's weird Oval Office appearance. They also go down and say that Musk, alongside Trump, alleges federal fraud without proof. So are you really getting a balanced perspective if you only listen to articles that claim to be in the center or the left or the right? This is why I love Ground.News, because they lay it all out for you. You ain't got to go 100,000 different places. You can get it all right here. While getting the information, be also doing your own research. It shows right here how many articles that they've sourced from, which is 135. It shows how many on the left, right, and in the center. I don't want you to get blind spotted, so I want you to see the blind spot that's on Ground.News. And here's articles that you may want to look out for depending on what side of the aisle that you land on. If you're on the left, you probably want to pay attention to this. Social media reacts after Schumer opens tip line for whistleblowers to report government misconduct. And then over here on the Republican side, if you're a Republican, you probably want to know this. 2 transgender teens sue to challenge Trump's executive order banning them from high school sports. So go down the list when you're on here and look and make sure that you're not getting blindsided or have a blind spot in your content absorption. I want you guys to subscribe through my link at ground.news/Tatum or download the mobile app and use code Tatum for 40% off the Vantage plan, the same plan that I use for unlimited access. So Elon Musk is at the White House, and I love Elon. He's so smart, he's awkward. But Elon Musk is at the White House, probably the first time in history that we've had somebody that's the richest man in the world come and explain how he's making the government more efficient. Brought his baby there with him, a show of fatherhood that the Democrats can't stand to watch. They literally melt when they see masculinity. But listen to what he had to say, and I don't know how people would disagree with holding people accountable to spend our effing money properly. It's crazy. You got to fight people to care about where your money going. Roll the clip.
Right.
Etc.
Well, we do find it sort of rather odd that there are quite a few people in the bureaucracy who have ostensibly a salary of a few $100,000, but somehow manage to accrue tens of millions of dollars in net worth while they are in that position, which is, what happened at USAID. We're just curious as to where it came from. Maybe they're very good at investing, in which case we should take their investment advice, perhaps. But there seems to be mysteriously they get wealthy. We don't know why. Where does it come from? And I think the reality is that they're getting wealthy at the taxpayer expense. That's the honest truth of it.
Your detractors, Mr. Musk.
I have to what?
Including a lot of Democrats.
I have detractors?
You do, sir.
I don't believe it.
Say that you're orchestrating a hostile takeover of government and doing it in a non-transparent way. What's your response to that criticism?
Well, first of all, you couldn't ask for a stronger mandate from the public. The public voted. We have a majority of the public voting for President Trump. We've won the House, we won the Senate. The people voted for major government reform. There should be no doubt about that. That was on the campaign. The president spoke about that at every rally. The people voted for major government reform, and that's what the people are going to get. They're going to get what they voted for. And a lot of times, people that don't get what they voted for, but in this presidency, they are going to get what they voted for. And that's what democracy is all about.
You've received billions of dollars in federal contracts when it comes to the Pentagon, for instance, which the president I know has directed you to look into.
Yeah.
Are you policing yourself in that? Is there any sort of accountability check and balance in place that would provide any transparency for the American people?
Well, all of our actions are fully public. So if you see anything, you say like, wait a second, hey, Elon, that seems like maybe that's, there's a conflict there. It's not like people are going to be shy about saying that. They'll say it immediately.
Including you yourself.
Yes. But transparency is what builds trust, not simply somebody asserting trust. So not somebody saying they're trustworthy, but transparency, so you can see everything that's going on. And then you can see, am I doing something that benefits one of my companies or not? It's totally obvious.
And we thought that we would not let him do that segment or look in that area if we thought there was a lack of transparency or a conflict of interest. And we watched that also. He's a big businessman. He's a successful guy. That's why we want him doing this. We don't want an unsuccessful guy doing this.
Now, who would be mad at transparency in government spending? I don't think there's a single person in America that really want to pay taxes. Like, it's a burden. It's like, oh man, I look at my check. That's when I started voting the first time. I looked at my check because I was supposed to make $21.88 an hour. And when I started doing the math, $21.88, I can get a new car. I can get an apartment right there in Marana, that one that I always wanted to live at with the first month free. I can get all of this with $21.88 an hour. Man, I got my first check. Pension was out, federal, state tax, health care. I mean, I was like, God dang, I'm really making like $15 an hour. After y'all done gouged all my money. And then, if you take my money and you do well with it and you're building infrastructure, you're building things that prosper and benefit the American people, the roads are good, the federal government is operating properly, people are holding others accountable for how they spend the money. I don't like it, but I'd be cool with that, right? I don't like you taking my money. I wish I had my own money and do what I want to do. But since you take it and you're doing well with it, I'm cool with it. But that ain't what they doing. They out here doing orgies and blowing your stuff on drugs and all kind of stuff. We just ain't found it out yet. I almost put my life on it that we gonna find out that some of these government officials were on a trip somewhere in Bali and they were blowing your taxpayer dollar and getting rich and doing side deals and doing this and getting happy endings. And who think that they ain't doing that? We had dudes doing that in the police department in Tucson, getting happy endings at this place. Some of them are detectives. I'm like, bro, you must have been a lousy detective that you can't even figure out how you gonna get caught doing this, doing happy endings up the street. Some of them, a few of them had wives that I met before. I'm like, God dang. So if somebody on Tucson Police Department feel this urge to have power and be corrupt, you better bet your bottom dollar they doing it in the federal government. Back to my point, who would be mad about this? Trent, pull up the clip of the deranged leftists and what they had to say about this whole shenanigans. And especially the Milk Dud herself, Queen Milk Dud. It's just the gift that keeps giving. Roll the clip.
The pushback is not sitting well with the co-presidents who held court in the Oval Office today together alongside Elon's toddler. And weirdly, it was Musk doing most of the talking. Perhaps he should have been the one sitting behind the Resolute desk. When he did get a word in edgewise, Trump did put the judges on notice with this ominous remark.
We begin tonight, keeping them honest, with the extraordinary claims of government fraud by the president and similar claims of maximal transparency by Elon Musk, but little evidence of either to back it up. In fact, strong evidence to the contrary from Musk's contention that he and his DOGE team are doing what they do in a way that, quote, maximally transparent. He said that in the Oval Office, wearing a ball cap and T-shirt with one of his kids nearby. He and the president, who yielded the stage to him for minutes at a time, both speaking at length with reporters. The president, who's now facing a string of court cases surrounding his and Musk's actions, addressed concerns that he would defy court orders, saying he, quote, always abides by the courts, but also saying this.
Who was the one standing, taking most of the questions, having the president in this odd, jarring setting, looking up to him? Well, it was Elon. This was Musk's first press conference since Trump's election, and he took over. Trump literally, in all these images, kind of looked like he'd been pushed off to the side because Elon was the center of it. I mean, at times Trump seemed annoyed. I mean, it wasn't just that Musk dominated. He did speak for about 20 of the 32 minutes. So about 63.5%, if you're counting of the time. It was that Musk physically owned the entire event. He and his child were the center of the attention.
What? They really said this on television? They so crazy. They really made it a big deal that questions that are posed towards Elon Musk is being answered by Elon Musk. I don't understand. They asking him questions. He's the head of DOGE. They're asking questions and he's answering them. What more transparent? They would be mad if Trump answered all the questions and Elon didn't say nothing. And then the man, he's a father. Unlike you childless leftists, liberal lunatics, he actually loved his kids. And he didn't want to get rid of it at the Planned Parenthood. So yeah, he bring his kid with him. The kid is a sweet, cute little kid. How is that weird and bad and awkward? It's a kid. This is what real life look like. You take your kids on a job, they gonna dig in their nose and do all kind of other stuff. Who cares? You telling me somebody's looking at you and be like, man, how dare he bring his kid to the Oval Office? How dare he he's a father? The people in the same breath would be like, oh, men don't do nothing. The women have to take all the mental load. And then a man take his kid to work and they like, oh, why did he bring his kid to work? Come on, man, you can't win for losing. Look at him. He had a ball cap on. He has a Make America Great Again hat on, which is the same hat the president wears. What are we saying here? They can't find nothing to say. How about you shut the front door and start reporting on the things that he has found that have been the misuse of the American tax dollar? And they won't report on that. All right, we got another clip. Let's go to the ver. Y'all know I like whooping them. Whoopee cushion. Take it away. Roll it.
Yeah. So yesterday, Elon Musk took his son X to a press conference. I did not name the child. And I don't want to hear any more mess about our names, okay? Okay?
Oh.
Anywho, he took little X.
Funny. And little Instagram.
He doesn't own Instagram. He doesn't own Instagram. He just took little X with him to a press conference in the Oval Office to defend himself against critics who say he should not have the power to gut the federal agency.
Some of the things that I say will be incorrect and should be corrected. So nobody's going to bat 1,000.
Okay, just before we even say anything, I want to say over the last decade, last 10 years, Musk companies, SpaceX and Tesla were awarded at least $18 billion in federal contracts, according to spending data. And since the president's election, his net worth has increased $64 billion, or nearly 25%. So, yeah, I'm going to say, you want to cut something? Cut some of the stuff you're taking out.
Hold on. I know y'all going through menopause, except the one on the end, so your brain is foggy and you're having heat flashes in the middle of this show. But let me just explain this real quick. Government contracts from Elon Musk doesn't exist because the government loves Elon Musk. It exists because Elon Musk has technology that the government cannot produce. He has majority of satellite ownership in the atmosphere. So if the government has to contract through satellite, they have to go through who? Elon Musk. He's the first one to successfully land certain aircraft, and he got Starlink. And I mean, the man is producing so much stuff. Of course, he's going to be the company that the federal government goes to. Elon Musk don't take salary like they're trying to allude to, meaning that when he have a contract with the government, somehow he's making more money. No, his net worth is based on the share value, the value of his shares in the company. So when they go, Elon Musk stock went up by X amount %. Some of it was because what he did with SpaceX. A lot of it is because people are predicting that he got, access to the presidency. He got all these things. People are predicting that his businesses will grow and continue to do well. They're going to get rid of all these regulations, and all of those things give people a little more confidence in Elon Musk's business ventures. So what? His stock goes up. It's not like because somehow they put more money in his pocket. But these cackling hens don't understand how that process works. You would think that people would be excited and happy for a man that had produced what he's been able to produce. And he's coming and saying, I'm a billionaire, I'm the richest man in the world. I don't really need your money. You don't have to pay me for this position. I just want to make sure the government is operating properly. Any billionaire that has to pay taxes have a vested interest to make sure the taxes that he pay is being spent properly. Roll it.
Because, I get that there's fat everywhere, and yes, we'd all like to see less of it. But what you're doing is a lot more than just cutting fat. You're giving people information that they should not have because they're not the people whose information it is.
Yeah.
And nobody elected you.
Yeah.
That's the part. That's the part.
For 2 weeks, we heard this idea that they spent $50 million on condoms in Gaza.
Right.
It's not even Gaza in the Middle East. It's Gaza in Mozambique. They didn't even know that.
And the number was wrong, too.
And then he goes on, Elon Musk goes on and said, well, I made a mistake. Meanwhile, you perpetuated the lie for the past 2 weeks, just like they did about these Haitians eating cats and dogs. Lies, and more lies, and then it goes out there. There's a meme going around that I have to show. Look at this. Show that.
Let's just put this in perspective. The man said he made a mistake. He was corrected. He admitted and corrected his mistake. What more do you want from the man? He just said everything is not perfect. Sometimes I may be wrong about something or the numbers may be off, but you see it, you notice it, you correct me, I'll fix the script. That's not good enough for them. That's not good enough. He say, I was wrong. I'm sorry. I was wrong. Let's correct the script. If the man just denied that he was wrong, then that'd be different. He admitted that he made a mistake. He misquoted or misspoke. He corrected it. And they still mad. Roll the clip.
Picture of the boy in the office. This is little kid. He's adorable. Little Elon Musk's son saying to Donald, "Why are you sitting in my daddy's seat?"
What he has said, he is the shadow president. You said Elon Musk is the shadow president.
Now think about this for a minute. I want y'all to roll reverse real quick. I just want to make a point, and we're going to move on. I want you to put in perspective if that was a black man, if Elon Musk was a black man and his kid was a young black boy that's sitting there, and they go, the boy, his son, the boy. People would lose their socks because that's incredibly disrespectful. And I feel like they're only trying to be disrespectful because it's Elon Musk's son. Any other stream, any other show, they would make sure to tell Whoopi in our ear and all the hosts the proper pronunciation of the person's name so that they don't disrespect somebody's kid. But instead, they go, the boy, the kid, the boy. It's embarrassing. But I'm glad that we're doing it because we're winning. and they losing. Oregon lawmakers, their position on Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, related department, which we were talking about DOGE a minute ago, access to federal payment systems. It says Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency was granted access to the U.S. Treasury's payment systems, which handle distribution to programs like Social Security and Medicare. In this articulation from these idiots, in my opinion, concern has risen about the potential for unauthorized alterations to these systems, especially after reports that the DOGE staff was mistakenly given editing privileges. The thing is, and this is my opinion on it, these people know that their slush fund days are over. These people understand and realize that when we have access to the records of how people were spending money and making money and getting rich off your tax dollars, that they're going to get exposed. And they don't want that. They're terrified of it. So they have to make this whole rant and theology that this is somehow illegal what Elon Musk is doing. Elon Musk is already rich. He the richest man in the world. I can say it 200,000 times over. He don't need to be stealing people money through the IRS and end up going to prison for the rest of his life. He don't need the money. What, are you going to make a couple $1 billion off you? He's worth 200-something billion. He don't need to make $2-3 billion. That's chump change. Anyway, let's just go to the clip because there's some legal action and restrictions, but we'll go to the clip and let you see how deranged these people are. Roll it.
I've been told I have 30 seconds, so I am going to tell you that we do have to, I don't swear in public very well, but we have to Trump.
Oh, that's what you want to do, huh?
Please.
That's what you want to do? Just get
Please don't tell my children that I just did that.
Don't tell your children. Pause it. Don't tell your children that you got an OnlyFans. Is that what you telling us? You got to F Trump? Is that what you said? What you said out of your mouth, if you read it on the transcript, we got to F Trump. What does that mean? You sound crazy as a mud saying something stupid like that. Now just imagine, put your thinking cap on. Imagine that this was a man, and imagine that Kamala Harris was president, and if a man said this about Kamala Harris, what do you think the backlash would be? These people are so out of touch and awkward and weird. Ma'am, if you don't cuss, what are you cussing for? You don't need to cuss, and then you cussed wrong. You know you silly when you cuss wrong. We got to F Donald Trump. You're supposed to just say F Donald Trump. You don't say we got to F him. We got to F him. Pause. I mean, that sounds sexual to me. Sound like you got to screw him? You got to screw him? That's what you're trying to do? Stupid. Roll the clip. Is it another one? The second clip. They singing a cringy song. Look, man, play the clip.
Oh, which side are you on? Which side are you on? Tell me, which side are you on? Which side are you on? We'll fight against DOGE. We'll fight Elon Musk. No Elon's kept within our walls. We'll fight from dawn to dusk. Oh, which side are you on? Which side are you on? Tell me. Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Trump's coming for our unions. He wants us all to fail. He wants us to bow to him, but we want him in jail. Oh, which side are you on? Which side are you on? Tell me, which side are you on? Which side are you on? They say in the capital city there are no neutrals found. You're either with the union or a scabby Musk bloodhound. Oh, which side are you on? Which side are you on?
She gonna do it?
Tell me, which side are you on? Which side are you on? Don't take that government buyout. Don't listen to Trump's lies.
Okay, I can't do it no more, Trent. I can't do it. I cannot do it. It's so, I have secondhand cringement, if that's a word. Go back to the clip. I want y'all to see these fools on this stage cringing out. What these people are holding the government accountable is like being slaves, is what they doing. This sound like an old Negro spiritual. Follow the drinking gore. Y'all don't know that. way down and eat Pharaoh's land, or Egypt's land. Pharaoh, let my people go. Y'all act like y'all following the drinking gourd. Y'all doing all kind of stuff. This the type of stuff that slaves used to do. And y'all feel like y'all got to have a slave hymn that you got to sing because we holding the government accountable. These people are crazy. At least you could have put the black lady up there. Maybe she could sing. They got the white lady up there and she can't sing that good. Then they reading a piece of paper. What are y'all doing? Y'all, I'm not going to act like I'm mad because I'm glad they doing this because they silly. Just silly, silly, silly. I often wonder, are they legitimately concerned about this stuff? Like, are these people legitimately thinking that Elon Musk is really a bad guy and that Donald Trump is Hitler? Like, do they really believe that? Or are they so evil and crooked that they have to put on a show for anybody that will listen to them because they have to object at every end to the opposing party? They have to. The man can clean our garbage, lower our tax dollars, and they are still going to be mad. The people voted for Trump to do exactly what he's doing. He had Elon Musk on the campaign trail. He said Elon Musk is going to lead this. He had this person, that person, and they still voted for him in a landslide. I can't believe it. Y'all help me in the comment section.